Sri Bhagavan says that the self is peace. Perfect peace is of the self. And he gives instruction that all that is necessary is to remove the cause of disturbance to that inherent or innate peace. This self, which is what you truly are, is of the nature of infinite being, consciousness, bliss. The disturbance, or rather the obscuration, to the peace of the self is only imagination. Specifically, the imagination of existing as something you are not. That peace is realized when the ego, the individual jiva, who has the form of the mind, is extinguished. How can there be complete extinguishment so that peace is forever? If something rises, it will cease. But we can also say that if something ceases, there's a chance it might rise again. In the case of illusion, or rather delusion, the delusion itself is both the cause and the effect. If it is at one time, it will be again at another time. Extinguishment of the delusion, extinguishment of the individual and the form of the mind, must necessarily be the realization of its utter non-existence. The inquiry that brings this realization, then, must be not an individual, a mind, finding out something, coming to know something, but rather it must be true knowledge, in which being is knowledge, and the abidance of your very sense of identity in that which it actually always has been and always will be. If I am missing peace and I try to find peace, I might lose it again. But if the I is not, and hence the cause and the forms of the effect of such disturbance to the peace or obscuration of the peace are not, and my only existence is the existence of that Brahman, the real self, then there is, in the words of Sri Bhagavan, perfect peace, which indicates its indestructibility and its imperishable fullness. Whatever it is that you pursue as an object to find reality seems to obscure the vision of reality. And whatever form the desire for happiness takes seems to obscure the inherent happiness. If we remove the forms of that desire, the desire itself returns to its original place. Peace is our nature. Happiness is our nature. The moment we think it is missing, the desire for it arises. The desire is correct. The forms it takes are delusions. If the forms are removed, the desire goes back to its origin. In its origin, there is nothing missing. Peace, happiness are innate. All that is necessary is to remove the veil made of imagination. The imagination that says, I exist as I. I am what I think, and what I think is so. The imagination that then thinks, I am in a body, I have a body, I am a body. What happens to the body happens to me. I am born, I die, I do, I act, I experience, I perceive, and of course, I conceive. None of that is true about you. Even in the midst, or rather while such imagination is seemingly going on, all the time, your real existence is silent, at peace. And in relation to all that, an undisturbed witness. An undisturbed witness consisting only of existence, consciousness, the bliss or peace of which is not diminished at all. By inquiry, remove the misidentification with what is appearing in the illusion, and know yourself as that consciousness. Inquiring further, realize yourself to be ever that being consciousness bliss, without beginning and without end. Then, as the Maharshi has indicated, you find that your previous desire for peace, your previous desire for happiness, is like water saying it's thirsty. Always the self is just as it is, undergoing no change, having no conditions. Inquire so as to know yourself as that and that alone. Realizing yourself as that alone, you find that that alone actually is. Just ascertain quite deeply and steadily what your being is.